Chris, you didn't bring COVID down from the Northeast, did you?
No. I can understand your concern for sure, but...
Well, you see how spaced out our couches have to be. We used to sit a lot closer,
yeah.
But now I'm scared of you, but I love you at the same time. So...
Trust me, I want to give you a big hug too, but I understand that those are tough right now. But I took a COVID test, the whole 9, temperature checks, all of that. So I'm pretty sure I'm safe.
You'll get on in here. We'll get the podcast started.
Yeah.
And glad you made it safe. Mr. Chris, welcome to the podcast.
How are you?
Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, my name's Christopher Antao. I'm the founder and executive director of Gnome Surf. What is Gnome Surf? We're a 501c3 nonprofit surf therapy organization that focuses in on children with autism, Down syndrome, ADHD, depression, and anxiety. And we provide them with surf therapy, yoga, art therapy, ecotherapy experiences that help increase their happiness and self-confidence.
So do you feel surf therapy truly makes a difference in their lives?
Absolutely. And we knew we were going to get that question, and people were going to be like, oh, you guys are just surfers taking out kids surfing. And we're part of the International Surf Therapy Organization, and we actually contribute research on a global effort to prove the efficacy of surf therapy. And the exact research that we've done on our program, we found that over 98% of our athletes feel happier, and over 93% of them feel more self-confident. 100% of them would try it again, and 100% of the parents would recommend it. And these are research numbers done on over 200 of our athletes. So you can see the power of surf therapy.
Right on. All right. So tell us a little bit more. Keep going. It sounds real interesting.
It's been amazing. We started this program roughly 5 years ago back home, became an official nonprofit 2 years ago. And we went from about 100 students in 2017 to over 1,200 families back home in New England, where people don't even know that waves exist, but they do. And we're really creating some magic.
So you've grown from that small to over 1,000 people, and you guys are just doing this seasonally, or is it yearly?
Seasonally. It's literally a 5-month surf season back home, and then it gets too cold, and the kids would never want to get back in if I forced them to get in there. And that's why we have looked towards Nosara to kind of bridge that gap in the winter season with us.
I gotcha. So since it's too cold up there, maybe you can come down and bring the kids and do your surf therapy here.
Correct. So we're building a camp up in the hills that we will bring our families over to surf with us. We're not here to compete with any local surf schools, actually here to collaborate with surf schools because parents will want lessons, other adults want lessons, and we're here just to focus in on our kids. So looking forward to being able to help also the other businesses in the area. Got
it. So you're right in the middle of building the bridge from Gnome Surf in the Northeast to Gnome Surf here in Nosara.
Yep.
And you're trying to bring people down for surf therapy with no competition to any of the locals here.
No.
Is what you're saying. And people can stay here, hang out, get a sample of a different spot in the world, and do surf therapy, well, I guess where it's warm.
Yep. And actually collaborate with the local surf schools so they can, support our parents and anyone else that may want some surf lessons too.
It takes a little bit of time. Then after people get used to it,
yep,
then they kind of accept you into the community. But at first, there's kind of some friction if someone's coming down and being aggressive. You are coming down and being aggressive, but you're also bringing down people,
correct,
who probably could use a trip to Nosara.
Yep. Actually, it's funny that you say that because that's what we really stand for. We're trying to create acceptance, equality, inclusion, and diversity so people can look at our athletes and say, wow, and they can do anything that I can do if you just believe in them. And our athletes have autism and Down syndrome. We're very niche and specialized in what we do. So we're just trying to facilitate for them to come on down and have a wellness experience here in this beautiful land that you guys call home. And we'll support low-income families. We'll pay for them completely. We have donors back home, corporate sponsors, grants and foundations that help us support our programs back home. And we generate revenue from our individual surf therapy sessions, which we then in turn will help pay for families to get out here. And so we're giving someone who doesn't have the ability to have a world-class wellness escape, that opportunity for them to heal as a family. And that's what we're trying to do.
Wow, that's awesome. So it sounds like the people who are going to come down to for this experience, they don't have to be well-heeled folks who can always afford it. You're raising capital and you're trying to get people who can't afford it to have this experience as well.
Correct.
Now, that must mean you have some sponsorship. So talk us through that.
A very great story is, prime example is what happened this past summer in surf season with COVID. A lot of the programs back home shut their doors, and we were able to continue by putting in a very strict protocol with sanitation of the boards, masks in the water, temperature checks before lessons. And we really told a story because there were no programs available for these kids back home. And we built this community of inclusion and where families could come and feel accepted and inspired that we believed in them. And we did over 800 sessions in the water this summer, and foundations back home took notice. We just literally received a grant from the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism. Doug Flutie.
Boston College Doug Flutie?
Doug Flutie, the guy who invented the Hail Mary. So he was Gnome Surf's Hail Mary just recently. And if you're Canadian, which there are a lot of Canadians here, you know Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie is the Tom Brady of the CFL.
Oh, yeah. He went to the Canadian Football League, then maybe came back
to the NFL. But he's a god in Canada. He won, I don't even know, 9 or 10 Canadian Super Bowls.
So he's helping you guys out?
Yes, he's going to be one of our main funders, and he's going to come surf with us in the water back home, and hopefully I can bring him here to Nosara.
Well, shout out to Doug Flutie. That's great.
Absolutely. He's amazing. And also, we just recently landed our first major corporate sponsor in Matuk. Matuk is a luxury linen brand, towels. So we're going to be producing some high-end premium surf towels for people. And they're going to be our main sponsor.
Well, thanks, Matuk. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm stoked.
I'm so happy for you. How much pressure did that alleviate getting a little bit bigger sponsors to embrace what your cause is?
It's huge. I mean, that was the first major national foundation to give us a grant, and Matuk is the first major sponsor. So
this is fresh. This just happened.
Fresh. Matuk happened yesterday, and Doug Flutie happened a couple of days after my birthday on the 14th. So it's the biggest Christmas gift and birthday gift that I can possibly get. But
wow.
It's literally the first domino to fall, and I can see a lot more sponsors coming on in for us.
Well, hopefully some people see this and jump on board with what you're up to down here and also back where you're
Absolutely. From. And that's another pillar for us is that since art therapy is huge for us, we also eventually want to support the local schools here with art supplies, so on and so forth. So we don't want to just be coming here and bringing our families over and not supporting the local community. It's important to who we are. We preach kindness as one of our pillars, and we really want to try to help the local community as well.
Right on, man. So how can people find you? Give us your websites and how to find you on social media and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Gnomesurf.com, Gnome. I spelt it wrong the first time I did it. So Facebook at Gnome Surf, Instagram at Gnome Surf, and all the other social media platforms we have. Yeah.
Is there any opportunities for people who maybe can't give financially, but they want to help?
Absolutely. We need all the volunteers possible. We operate heavily on volunteers. So anybody who's willing to come on out to Nosara or any locals that want to help us, absolutely. As well as, like we said, we want to support the local surf instructors and yoga teachers and employ them to support our families as well. So yeah, there's opportunities for work, and there's also opportunities for volunteerism as well.
Gotcha. So people can hit you up, and if they're in the Northeast, they can get involved up there. And Are you looking to go live in 2021? Dare I say, knock on wood?
Yes.
Here in Nosara?
We're building our camp up in the hills, and that I just met with the contractor before I came here, and we should be ready to roll by May.
Wow.
With the completion of the construction. Obviously, there's some landscaping and furniture that needs to be built, but I'm hoping by next November, December, we'll be live bringing families out throughout the winter.
Gotcha. So finish construction mid-year-ish is the goal. Mm-hmm. And you want to have families coming down by the end of 21 is the goal.
Yep.
All right. So hopefully people pay attention. Thank you for what you're doing. It's an absolute pleasure to hear what you're up to, and I look forward to helping out with it however we can. And
Absolutely.
I guess we'll be staying in touch. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks, man.